moving on. We can't turn off the spoiler talk yet, chat, because it's time to talk about Peak. Peak being RE0. The show that keeps giving. It keeps finding new ways to hook me. Like, in the leg. And I start crying in pain. That's what this show does. It's painfully good. Like, it makes other fantasy media look bad with how good it is. I want to read the graphic novels after season 3 because apparently this is not a manga, this is based on a graphic novel. Which is different. I kind of want to read it because I'm looking forward to seeing all that juicy text. Also, I want to read the what ifs as well because there's apparently a whole book basically the author did of a what if scenario following certain events. Like if Subaru had done a certain thing instead of going down this route, and I really want to see that. But yeah, we got a couple of things to say. I got a lot of things to say actually about about these 4 episodes. I think that the show has like introduced both my favorite villain now and my least favorite villain. In the form of, we'll go through it in reverse order. So we'll start with Regulus. He's an absolute pile of garbage, and I hate him. He makes me feel sick whenever he appears on screen. I think they did a really good job of that so far. You can kind of see how dumb he is too. He's a complete idiot. Which is why I'm glad we've got the other villain in this episode, in the form of the Archbishop of, not this episode, all 4 episodes, in the form of Archbishop of Lust, where we get introduced to Capella, who I think is probably the most interesting villain so far, and it's helped by the fact that she gets not 1 villain introduction scene, but 2 villain introduction scenes that are both fantastic. I think this is in like top 5 best villain introduction scenes I've seen in anything. It's great. It's fantastic. It's up there with Petelgeist's villain scene in season 1 of RE0. Because she's just eating the scenery. I don't know who her voice actress is, but they are crushing it. Same with Subaru's voice actor, as always. But, like, yeah, the animation on her is great. I'm not saying that in, like, oh, she's female, that means she's hot. No, it's the opposite. It's grotesque. It's awful. Yeah, like, unlike the other characters who seem insane, she seems the most sane out of all of them, and it makes her scarier, I think. Because some of the stuff she says is actually true. I'm like, oh god, yeah, no, that is the societal standard of beauty. She's not wrong about that. Like, she brings up an interesting statement of, well, if you like Amelie because of how she looks to a certain extent, if she was grotesque and disgusting, would you still stay with her? And like, would he? I don't think he would, to be honest. Don't know. Would he stay with the waifu version of her in season 2? I hope not. Because that was the most fucked up death, I think, in the entire show. Where Subaru gets waifu Amelie through being dead? I forget how that happened, but it was terrifying. What else happened in these 4 episodes? Oh yeah, we saw Priscilla, like, go into Dark Souls mode. Her and, like, Al are literally just Dark Souls characters. And then we got Subaru's speech in episode 7, which I think is fantastic. Probably one of the best episodes of the show. It's just it's an episode of just characters in a room talking. And it's probably the most interesting episode of the season. It really fleshes out his character arc. It further explores him as a character. And his speech is great. I enjoyed him doing the speech. Go Subaru. And like how Owl says it, if you fuck up now, you're done. Luckily, Subaru has the save point system, so he doesn't have to be too scared about that. Which, I will say, chat, I kind of don't really think Return by Death is working that well in this season for me. Because they haven't really used it in an effective way. Like, season 2 really makes you feel desperate with how much it's used at the beginning of Season 2. But in this season, it was used for shock value, explaining a villain's power, and then it hasn't come back yet. I suppose a part of it is just waiting for it to happen as well, but it's kind of taking a back seat in this season, which I don't mind, because we're focusing more so on broader character development. But I think that's the show's entire point. Like, it's starting life in another world. Well, we need deaths. We need Subaru to suffer. He's not been suffering enough. Well, that's a lie. He has. I think him not returning by death is making it even worse for him, to be fair. This might be a bit too late to say this. Where you get Subaru from his name? Is it joke or just mispronounced? I've been mispronouncing it the entire time. I just can't get out of calling him a different name. But that's how I've always been saying it. I know his name is pronounced Subaru, but I always call him Subaru because I'm an idiot. I think Amelia calls him Subaru.